Okay, so I can't see y'all. Hello, family. Okay, wait, so some of y'all probably thought, that I was like talking to my mom or my cousin or something in the front row. I'm a black woman, and when we're in community, we say, hello, family, and y'all say, hello, family? Okay, there we go, that's a little better. So I am an organizer, and one of the things as an organizer that we always do, and we're taught from a very early age, is to ask for what you want. You cannot actually win things you don't ask for. So right now, what I want more than anything in this moment is I want to actually be able to see the folks that I'm talking to. And this room will let us do that. So if you are in the way back there, you're just kind of hanging out, one or two of you by yourself, as an organizer and as somebody who wants to deeply feel in community with you, I'm just going to ask you to come forward. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to feel the power of this movement, I'm going to ask you to fill in so you can be next to more of our people, right? Yeah. So come on forward. We got a lot of incredible people after me, so you can feel yourself in forward. There's chairs literally right here in the front, and I can actually look in your eyes. It's pretty dope. My name is Jennifer Epps Addison. I have the incredible honor of being the president of a national grassroots network called the Center for Popular Democracy Action. And we are a network of grassroots organizations in 35 states, Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C., committed to building people-powered movements that actually change our lives. One of the things that we talk about when we talk about progressive movement building, which is exactly what the Bernie Sanders campaign is about, is we talk about why we're here, right? To build a movement, we actually have to be in community with each other. So I just want to take a second and ask people in 5 words or less, in 5 words or less, in 5 words or less. I'm just going to repeat that one more time, in 5 words or less. I want to ask people to shout out, why are you here? What is keeping you up? Why are you in this room right now? Just shout it out for me.
Green New Deal!
Green New Deal! For the future.
Free the children!
Free our children!
Medicare for all!
Medicare for all! Solidarity! Free Palestine! Education! Abolish ICE! It feels beautiful to know who we are, because you see, there's a lot of people who want to paint us, right? They want to say who the Not Me Us movement is. And so whenever we have the chance to actually talk to real people, to people who are struggling every day in this country, to people whose communities and families have been struggling for generations under both Democrats and Republicans, right? Whenever we have the opportunity to actually say why we have come into action, it is a beautiful and transformative thing. So I want to thank all of you who are willing to shout out and give us a sense of community today. Can we just give it up for them? I promise I'm going to share a little bit. I know y'all didn't come for me because I literally got added yesterday, but look, when my sister Linda calls, I'm like, what do you need? Where can I go? And I'm so honored to be here. Thank you. So I want to ask, who in this room identifies as a progressive? Okay, I see a couple. Y'all know I can't see you right. Can you make a little noise? I asked that question because I am from the great state of Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is known, yay, okay, all right, look at that solidarity and love. Wisconsin is known for 5 things. Now, y'all might know the first 3, beer, cheese, and the Packers. By the way, the only publicly owned team in the entire NFL. But we have 2 other things that we're really known for. The first is deeply impactful on my life as a queer black woman. I grew up in the worst state in America to be black. If you Google in your phones, don't do it now because I'm talking, but after the show. If you Google worst state in America to be black, you will find Wisconsin. But there's another thing that many of folks, and especially folks of our generation, don't actually know, which is Wisconsin is the birthplace of the progressive movement. Way back a long time ago, as corporations and the very wealthy were running rug shop all across the state, farmers in rural communities and factory workers in the cities banded together to start the progressive movement under one clear promise, that everybody who lived in this country, or back then in Wisconsin, but now in this country, should have the dignity of life, should have the ability to support their family, should have the ability to put food on the table, keep a roof over their heads, should be able to live as free human beings. That's how the progressive movement started. That's a powerful thing for us to remember as we're building that movement and rebuilding that movement today. And in progressive movement building, what I want to tell you and what I know is that we have many, many dreams. One of those dreams is to reach as many people as possible, to create the level of mass appeal that is so enticing that it grows our branches wider, and so rewarding for those of us who put in the work that it drives our roots deeper into the ground. We believe as progressives that another world is not only possible, but actually within our reach. That's right, you can clap for that. We are driven to speak up, to act out, and to fight like hell because people are suffering. And we know that right now, in this moment, is the best chance we've ever had in generations to end it. We can do that, y'all. And listen, I get it, the stakes are high. And some of y'all may have came here and you're not actually sure who you're supporting and you're checking it out, and I love that. Let's shop, let's talk about why we support who we support, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But I get that the stakes are high, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. I go to bed in terror every night, worrying that I'm gonna fuck it up. Anybody else worried that we're gonna fuck it up and we're not gonna defeat Trump? Okay, it's not just me. So I get it, there's a lot at stake, and it's hard. But it's precisely because of the urgency of this moment that doing the hard work of movement building becomes important. See, our candidate, he is not just running for president. That's not what he's doing. This is not just a presidential campaign that you came to hear about tonight. Our candidate is asking each one of us to help lead the Not Me, Us movement, to fight for someone we don't know, and to build a political revolution that is powerful enough to transform our lives. This is different than any other type of presidential politics, y'all. And it's important for us to understand that the revolution that our candidate is asking us to help build, it can only succeed if it's rooted in solidarity and love. Now, yeah, okay, I love this crowd. So usually I'm black, so we do this thing called call and response, and you gotta respond and you gotta clap, you gotta make, but y'all are so good, I don't even have to do that. I'm really, really pleased, this is awesome. So let me just say that every single day, including today, thousands of people join our political revolution. And yeah, let's be real, some of them may come from Bernie appearing on right-wing and libertarian media, some of that may happen, but most of them will not. Most of the folks who are going to come into our movement are going to come because of the interaction they have with people and supporters just like you, in rooms just like this, in communities all across this country. That is how we will build our movement, because of you. Your efforts are the reason, and your sacrifice are the reason why Bernie is surging right now. Whether at the door, the grocery store, the job site, through text messages, on social media, make no mistake, when we win, it will be folks like you that put us in the White House. And it won't be just to defeat Donald Trump. Yes, we will do that. But, yes, we will do that. But you're not here just to do that. You're not here just to return to the status quo of previous administrations. That's not why you're a part of this movement. With a movement candidate who will spend every single day as president walking side by side with us to build the country of our dreams. Now, our network endorsed Bernie Sanders for to be the next president of the United States by 75%. That was our motion. And as network president, I am accountable to a base of more than 600,000, mostly black and brown, almost uniformly working class families spanning 35 states across this country. Our members are so honored to join you in doing our part to help take Bernie to the White House, and with him, all of us. But, you know, let's just say, this was the first time there were multiple progressives running in an election, and we were really excited about that. It meant for the first time, candidates really tried to win our endorsement. Honestly, we were shocked. We were like, these folks are returning our phone calls? This is freaking awesome. You know, we were shocked. And I will tell you that I hope that those candidates will play key roles in the Sanders administration, because it takes all of us. But Bernie earned our trust and our endorsement, and I want to tell you why. Bernie earned our trust because he's growing a people's movement that is so much bigger than any one campaign, than any one election. A people's movement that at its core, at its center, has a mandate to build a country that includes us all. Let's be clear. This campaign promises to deliver not just for the working class, but for every single one of us who have been pushed to the margins and denied dignity in this country. All of us. And so let's talk about that for a second, because that's been in the news, and so many of us, I can see this is I think every single diverse person in Rhode Island is probably in this room. When they try to erase us, when they try to act as though we don't exist, right? Let's talk about why this movement is so important. Right now, trans folks, in particular, are facing an epidemic of violence against them. Last year in 2019, 91% of the trans people who were murdered were Black women. Understand that. 81% of those folks were under 30. Understand that. And 100% of those people were working class. Understand that. So yes, we need to build a working class movement, but we also need to build a movement that understands that Black people are under assault and have been since the founding of this country, and recognizes their dignity and humanity. We also need to build a movement for young people, that young people can own and run because they are under assault for everything from the dignity of their ability to ever see a future from themselves to their ability to just feel safe in church or school. Young people deserve to be at the center of our movement. And so we have to build a multiracial, multi-generational movement that sees all of that humanity, and that's exactly why our members chose to endorse Bernie Sanders. Because Bernie's own history has trailblazed the rights of LGBTQ people. Because his platform spells out federal protection for gender non-conforming people all over this country. Because his platform makes housing and healthcare and education a guaranteed right for all of us. And because he is the only candidate, let me say it again, he is the only candidate which fully covers the cost of gender affirmation as a human right. Now, at a time when our immigrant brothers and sisters in Familia are under attack in ways that are unprecedented, maybe not since Japanese internment, right? At a time when the Supreme Court rules that if you don't come here with money, that you don't deserve to be in this country, right? At a time when babies still sleep lined up on floors in cages, immigration and the plan we have for immigration matters more than ever. And so our network trusts Bernie, and he earned our support because he is the only campaign, again, I'm going to say it one more time, the only campaign that is guaranteeing on day one a moratorium on deportations in this country. See, it's easy to say we're committed to our immigrant brothers and sisters, and I understand that the Latino vote is incredibly important and some people are trying to court it. But there's one thing about saying it, and there's another thing about guaranteeing to stop the abuse until we can actually transform our system from one that criminalizes people at the hardest moments in their lives, in the place where they are struggling the most, into one that treats that as the humanitarian crisis it is. And y'all know I wasn't going to not talk about Black folks. You know, this question about is it race, is it class, what is it? We gotta stop that. We gotta stop that shit, all right? Let's just be real with each other. It is all of it. It is who we are as human beings and what we carry with us. We gotta quit playing. Black folks are 13% of this country, but we are 50% of the folks who are homeless. Quit playing. It's race and class. It's not either or, right? Understand this. In my home state of Wisconsin, the largest Black neighborhoods in the state are the jails and prisons. Let that sink in for a second. So as Black folks, we needed a candidate that would actually stand up for our issues, and if anybody Googles me, you will see that I have at times been critical of Senator Sanders. But the work he has done in the last 4 years to build with movement folks and movement organizations, to talk to communities on the ground, to truly try to understand and grapple with the impact of the criminal justice system has been nothing less than we would ever ask out of the candidate of our dreams. This is a man who voted in 1994 for a crime bill that devastated our communities, and this year committed to not only repealing that crime bill and apologizing for his vote, but he committed to working with communities most impacted by mass incarceration to build a new legislation that transforms the way we see safety and freedom in this country. That's the type of candidate we're supposed to be. Oh, by the way, I have this for you too. He is the only one. Again, let me say the only one. One more time, he's the what? The only one. This is a theme, we should just keep it up. He is the only candidate who is willing to grant the right to vote for every citizen, including those who are currently and formerly incarcerated. And so let me end with this. We know why we're here. We have to be willing to make sure that other people understand who we are. We cannot let trolls and people who hide behind internet emojis represent what this movement is. This movement is you. And it's people you haven't met yet, but that you're willing to fight for. It's me, it's all of us. And as the left ascends, and make no mistake, we are ascending. They are panicking right now because we're figuring out the trick. See, this divide and conquer strategy, let's divide along race, let's divide along class, let's divide along gender, this is a days-old strategy. This strategy has been implemented since the history of capitalism, right? It goes hand in hand with capitalism like peanut butter goes with jelly. Like, that is exactly what we're in. And they are panicking because they see that their divisive tactics are not working, and they see that this candidate has been able to build the most diverse, most multiracial, most working class coalition the country has ever seen. And they're terrified. So I'll leave you with this. As we ascend, our campaign must continue to do the hard work of building across race and class and sexuality and gender and generation and geography that has made this campaign the most working class diverse campaign in the country, by far. The divide and conquer strategies, they're only gonna intensify, and so our commitment has to do that too. We have to stay ready. Y'all ever heard the term stay ready? If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. Okay, I see a couple of my people out there, right? All right, so y'all, I taught y'all something tonight. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. That is an old Black saying. And it basically means you don't have to get ready if you're ready right now. So are we ready right now? Yes. Exactly. So we have to stay ready, but we also have to stay committed to our values. We have to be willing to tell people who we are and not let folks who don't represent the vision of this movement represent us in other spaces. So every day when we canvass, when we make phone calls, when we send texts, and even when we post on social media, we have the opportunity to show potential supporters, well, and all the haters too. Like, we can also show the haters, it's fine. What it means to fight for someone you don't know. That is actually how we win. It's with humility, with solidarity, and with love. Today in the primaries and tomorrow in the White House, our biggest job is to show the world that another world actually is possible, and we're the ones who are going to bring it into fruition. So I'm going to end with this now, because I like call and response. I want to end with a chant that means a lot to me. I heard it first probably when I was like 14, and we were trying to change school funding, and I led my very first walkout. But it helps me remember when people tell you what you want is too high, what you want is too far, what you want is never going to happen, it's not possible, right? That actually with our belief, and our hope and our aspiration, it is possible. So I'm gonna say, we are unstoppable. Are y'all unstoppable? Okay, I just wanna make sure. Okay, so to make sure you can feel it, I need your chest voice, okay? Like Lizzo says, right? Get your chest voice out. All right, when I say we are unstoppable, y'all are gonna say another world is possible, okay? We're gonna try this. We